Hello, my beautiful fragrance family. Dustin here, fragrance fan. Go ahead and give me a solid and click that like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell notification. And I'm just gonna keep on giving you guys these budget-friendly fragrance reviews, that $40-ish and $100 range. Most of these are way less than that, and a good number of these you can pick up at your local rack stores. Like the one I got in my hand right here. At first glance, and when I first purchased this, I thought it was a Murata because that is the cap that is in my hand, and I'll tell you why in a second. But I'm pretty sure this is a Milestone, and I'm talking about Monarch Red Tobacco Vanilla. What do you think they're trying to clone here? Obviously, Mancera, they're going after the Mancera Red Tobacco fragrance. The reason why I have this lid is because it decided to steal the atomizer. I was like, wow, this thing really is snug into place because that's how I bought it. It fit right on there, and then I had to steal the atomizer lid off of my velvet collection from Milestone. And, same beautiful, amazing atomizers that are spoiling me now because I got so many of these fragrances. These atomizers are terrific. Why can't they all be like that, But, so I've actually never smelled the original Mancera Red Tobacco. From what I understand, this is a pretty accurate interpretation, but there are some differences, but I'm just gonna go based on as a standalone with this one. When I first got my nose on this thing, I was at the store and I sprayed it on me and I liked it in the air. The initial blast was like, wow, this is really good, it's really good. And I sprayed it and I walked around the store. It was like a minute or so and I was like, there's something I just don't really dig so much. It almost had like, a plasticky thing, like a pool raft kind of a thing buried in there with the tobacco. I don't know what was doing that because the notes in this thing are like cinnamon, nutmeg, agarwood, there's jasmine in the base, there's vanilla, amber, and sandalwood, I think. So that being said, 15 or 20 minutes later when I'm driving down the road, I kept smelling it and it just kept getting better and better and better. And before you know it, I could not stop smelling my hand. I was like, wow, I need to get this because I was on my way to go help out with the youth at church. And I was like, you know what? The second I get out of the youth group, I'm going back to the store and hopefully nobody scooped this thing up. And lo and behold, it was still there and it was still hanging on quite decent. About 3 hours later with just that one spray on my hand. So, it gets better over time. If you can get over that initial like weird plasticky thing or whatever that's going on with the tobacco at first, it gets much better. Now, this is an in-your-face kind of tobacco fragrance. It's not like CK1 Shock. It's not like the Mason Alhambra Tobacco Touch or other tobacco fragrances that I've smelled. This is a lot more tobacco, real dry tobacco. It almost seems like with some of that cinnamon stuff that's going on in there, it almost feels like there's a touch of apple. I don't know if that's like a combination between some of the amber and the sandalwood or something. I just kind of picture a little hint of like a baked apple pie with the cinnamon and the tobacco in this. Mostly tobacco, a little bit of that woodiness, and some of the florals, obviously, but not a whole lot of anything else. Quality, after that 30 minutes or so, is pretty good. It's that first 30 minutes that just aren't all that great, but I like the dry down better. If I like the dry down of a fragrance better than the opening, that's way better in my opinion than the opening I like and not liking the dry down, because typically the dry down lasts a whole lot longer. And if the opening is great and the dry down stinks, then you'll probably try to get some more of that magic from the opening of whatever fragrance it is. And I'm guilty of that. Try to relive that thing and now you got like a mix of the two. So that's just not good. So I like it when a fragrance has an awesome dry down. The longevity on this is quite decent. You'll get, me personally, 6.5 or 7 hours. I thought it was going to be longer. I thought it was going to be like a 9-hour fragrance, but it really wasn't for me. I could see how it would be on some people, but it's safe to say this is a 7-hour fragrance, which is solid. Great for the cool weather only. This is not something that you're going to wear when it's warm out. This is more of a darker evening heavy kind of a fragrance. It's not super sweet. It's not super rich. It's just loud, tobacco-y, a bit spicy. So maturity level. You got to be mature for this one. If you are under the age of 30 and you're liking things that are more geared towards like your freshies, Acqua di Gio, or like things that are in the winter like Versace Eros and stuff, you might not like this because this is a bit more of a challenging fragrance. That being said, I will still give this a 7 out of 10 because the scent of it is decent. I do like the way it smells. Like I said, I couldn't stop smelling myself after the dry down. Projection and longevity, a little bit above average. Helps me bring this to a 7 out of 10. It's not mind-blowing or anything like that, but this is a good, solid wintertime fragrance in my opinion. And I wore it for a couple days. I really enjoyed the way that this thing smells. I'm gonna keep on wearing this thing. And yeah, there's not a whole lot else that I can say about this thing. There's nothing really negative except for that first 30 minutes. You get past the 30 minutes, spray this thing on your hand if you see it. Do your shopping around the store and tell me what you think after 30 minutes when this thing starts to settle down a little bit. And that's my final thoughts on Monarch Red Tobacco Vanilla. With that, I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Take care of yourself always. And until next time.